I just get distracted. I get distracted and the stream starts and the song ends and I'm not quite ready, but I'm really close. I love watching the squirrel dance. I just can't help it. How's it going, fellas? How we doing? You see Dawson in the background slaving away? Actually hoping Doc goes into a little more detail on Alexa actions. Not having much luck. Okay, good. Sorry I said it out loud. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Me distracted? Never, right? Ready enough. That's right. That's right, Peter. Thank you. I'm doing so well, Dion. Thank you. Peter, thank you. All right, Leafs fan. That's Jim, right? Jim, it was working last night. Ward, is that you? My grandson loves the dancing squirrel. Nice. So do I. It's fun. How's it going, Toolman Nick? Keaton's here. Oh, good. Keaton, just in time, buddy. I think we're going to talk about your she who shall not be named. What are we going to say, Betty? We're going to talk about Betty actionable notifications. The setup with the notification was a failure on my part. Can't get it to work. Okay, we'll get you working, Raspy. We will get it working today because it does work. Let's start a supervised maybe being deprecated. Oh, I'm not worried about that, Lucas. I know there's probably some people that are, but all right, Quindor's here. Ooh, we can start with Quindor. Finally made it to the first live stream. All right, thank you for being here. We're going to play this for you, being here for the first time. Ryoto. On hold. Da-na-na. Can you go over to make a door announcement? Sure, we can go over making several announcements. Did you see the scare? Well, I saw an announcement that said that they were going to stop having a version of Home Assistant that would just run on Linux or something. Is that right? All right, Anonymous Cheer, thank you very much. And I mean, let's remember this is beta. They're still working out what's the best way to make this whole thing happen, and there's going to be changes along the way. That's probably going to screw some people up, I understand, but man. Almost didn't get mine to work, but going off script from the instructions fixed it. Using a long-lived access token in the your secret client text box. Is that what got it to work for you, Jason? Jason, tell me, how do you log into Home Assistant? How do you log into Home Assistant? Because this is that's an important thing, how to use that long-lived access token if you can't get it to work the other way. Coming from Twitch today. All right. Yes, we appreciate everybody who's watching from Twitch. Try to get that average up to 75. By the way, I've swapped out the lead-acid batteries of your new e-scooter for a lithium one. Less than half the weight with double the range. Nice. Nice, River. Make sure you got a battery management system, especially when you're charging them. Because you overcharge one of those babies and boom. They wanted to stop support for us people with Proxmox and Ubuntu server. With Proxmox? No. Ubuntu server, huh? Duck DNS add-on. Forward 433 from my router to 8123. Okay. Well, that's good to know, Jason. That's good to know. So that's the situation where you need to use the long-lived access token. Keaton, you got anything to say about that? Any comments on that? Tony on double streaming. Thank you, sir. Working on my inverter and Modbus, but can't get it to respond with any data. Oh, bummer. Did not put it in the Lambda file. You didn't put it in the Lambda file. Where did you put it? How did you get that to work? That's interesting, Jason. Won't work with the port URL. Have to use a token. Keaton, how do you have yours done? Are you using DuckDNS and a port forward? And account linking is working for you? Hello, Frank. Choo-choo. We'll just run the train again just because Frank's here. How's it going, homie? All right, William. That's a resubscribe, I'm sure. Thank you, William. You want unicorns or planes, so unicorns or planes. We're going back and forth here between battery talk and account linking is not working, can confirm. It's not working in which situation, Valcub? How do you log into Home Assistant? Thomas, that's where I am too. I use Nabukasa and it works great. Only long-lived access token works. Planes are trains? Planes are trains, sir. Planes are trains. Well, it's unicorns. Well, let's start with this. All right, Jesper, thank you very much, sir. Keep it up. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Would you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes. I say unicorns or planes because I have one that does unicorns that I just did, and then I have one that does the paper airplane at the end. I do have a new one. This is brand new. That's when we actually get something to work right. So hopefully we'll get to use that a lot. All right, Arbolo, thank you very much for subscribing. It's Dr. Pepper time. Aloha from Yosemite. How are you in Yosemite watching the stream? That's awesome. Unicorns are great. Excellent. We'll play the unicorns one more time for William. Okay. Snagged a few today. All right, here we go. Force multiplier. Okay, Keaton says, I use something similar to DuckDNS and indeed works without long-lived access token as the externally accessible URL does not include a port. That's interesting. So isn't there a way, thank you very much, Bikrukseti. Isn't there a way to set your, does your DuckDNS have to have a port in the end? Maybe it does. More long-winded answer in your wiki. I'm not using a port to address or log in either. So but Jason, did you type something up in the wiki? Why does that, Dr. Pepper, remind you of Frasier? I don't know. Oh, and then Seamus is using Nabukasa with the long-lived access token. Oh my goodness. This is caused by the base URL. Luckily, this will all change per home system. Oh, good. 0.110. Oh. So maybe at 0.110 now, this is where we need Keaton and Frank to work out what the situation is there and make sure, because maybe we won't need the long-lived access token option in 0.110. Is that what it sounds like to me? Is it possible to flash a Tuya RF433 bridge over the air? You could try. You could try with Tuya Convert. I would try. If you're going to try it, I would try it with Tuya Convert. I would be cautious about flashing a 433 bridge with Tasmota unless you know for sure that there's already a template that's going to make sure to assign the right pins to the right activities. Otherwise, you end up trying to hunt that down yourself afterward the fact. And with something like an RF bridge, it might be pretty difficult. And I don't even know for sure that RF bridge is based on an 8266 or that it will take Tasmota. I wish I could tell you for sure, but I cannot. Google Hub versus wall-mounted tablet. I know you have both. Which would you recommend? Wall-mounted tablet. I like my Google Home, but I like it for other things as well. But for a Home Assistant display, I would totally go with the wall-mounted tablet. In fact, what I'm planning to do here at my desk is, I've got my Google Home Hub here, and I'm going to leave it here because I like it. It scrolls through pictures and stuff, and I can cast a Home Assistant page to it, but it needs to be recast, right? Sometimes it just, I don't know if it times out or something, it just kind of goes away. So the tablet with fully kiosk browser and always on power app or whatever will never goes to sleep or goes away at all. So I would go with the tablet because we have that Fire 10. We have an Amazon Fire 10 tablet down in the kitchen. Beautiful. Never have to, and it's running fully kiosk browser. Never turns off. Never have to, every once in a while you got to go by and if the camera images are off, you got to just kind of swipe down and refresh it real quick, but that's it. Found a really good deal on the Hub, but I think a tablet has more possibilities with browser mods. Yeah, for sure. Any updates on the bug, Dr. Z's, or Father Time? I haven't worked on the bug in a week or so. After we did our race, you probably saw our race. where we raced. Violent Pooh is here. Thank goodness. I've done one marker so far, Pooh. Okay, before we get too much further down the squirrel path here, let me talk about a very most important thing, because we got Quindor here as well. Some of you, we've been talking about the Quinn LED boards, right? Quinn LED boards. Pay no attention to this BH no free thing here. I don't actually have those yet. But Quindor had a bunch of these pre-made, and he sent me 100 of them. And on Saturday night, I think it was, Friday night, maybe it was, Friday night, I think it was. I was working on the website, my website here, to be able to sell them in the US and Canada. And I got it working. And as soon as I got it working, I don't know if people were just, because it wasn't even public. The page wasn't even public yet. The page wasn't even public yet, but I had people clicking on it and sold all 100 before I ever was even able to make an official announcement that I had them available to sell. Yeah, it leaked late Friday night. So anyways, thank you to everybody who bought them. Dawson is over there packaging them up right now. Wave, you're packaging up the Quinn LED boards right now. He's got a stack of them over there. So he's the DrZzs board. That's right, the DrZzs boards. So we're going to get those sent out to everybody who ordered them today. But then I've got another order of 100 coming from Quindor in the next, hopefully within a couple of weeks. Should already be there. And I sent you the money, Quindor. Check your bank. It's there, or it should be there pretty soon. So this is pretty awesome. And I love this part. The fact that Dawson's doing this and Zach and Jackson are going to help, fill the orders and stuff the envelopes and go to the post office and all that stuff. So we got a little Aiden family enterprise here, and I'm very happy about it because, it's not a ton of money, but that's not the important part really for them, for me and them right now. It's about, this is how business works, and can't learn a better lesson than this. So, and if you want to, yes, and then Quindor just put the international store still has stock. So if you're outside the US and Canada, you can buy them from Quindor's website, and I've got a link to it in mine right here. So I had to update this yesterday. Sold out here, but you can go to Quindor's, and I will post that link in El Chato. And I know that we have there's a bot command for that too. I think you do !dig-uno, and it will bring that up as well. Rich boy, how's it going? Good luck. Thank you. The page still exists, so I can read the specs. Yes, the pages are there, and you can, and it's, my page doesn't have hardly any information. All the good information. Oh, Mom must have done that. Need a lot more imported. Yeah, I know. We're gonna do another round of 100, and then we'll probably do more. Hopefully the next time. We'll see. I mean, at some point, I think we'll probably get most people who've been waiting for a long time, and we'll sort of saturate that backed up demand, and then there'll be some sort of steady amount that people will do. Been begging him to switch to Home Assistant for a month. How about a collab? Well, we'll work on it. We'll work on it. I'll talk to him too. Valcob, that should work. Hey, Chris, how you doing? So what is the long-lived access token for? Okay, hoping to catch a squirrel. Deleted mine. I have no idea how to get it back. Okay, no problem. You can get another long-lived access token pretty easily. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about instead of talking about what we aren't going to talk about. Does that make sense? Everybody like that? Skillful Sheep just subscribed. Thank you very much, Skillful Sheep. We're not going to get anything done today. Let's just face it. It's just better to just face the facts. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, update the stream title. I can do that. Oh, right. Patrick subscribed to Twitch Prime. Thank you very much, sir. Man, we're just not going to be able to stop doing this for anything. No more squirrels. Okay, no more squirrels. We're focused. We are so focused. Laser beam focused. All right. This is what this is what we want to talk about. We want to talk about Betty actions. And this is we talked about this on Friday because it's super exciting. And I worked on it on the weekend. Keaton has continued to make improvements and changes, and we're not done. I'm sure he's not done making improvements and changes. So be watching for it. And if you get it working, expect it to need some fine tuning, because I've had it working, and then the things change a little bit, and then got to redo a couple things. So this is early. So don't expect this to be just pop out of the box and work and never change. Okay. Shouldn't have to reiterate that too often. We know kind of what we're dealing with on a lot of these, but just be ready for that. Okay. So here we go. The part that everybody's getting stuck on is the part about your linking it to your Home Assistant. So we're going to go here, and let me see what's going to happen here when I pull this open, because it's going to end up showing my stuff. So here's what we're going to do. I know exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to do it over again. Let's just walk through it because some of the steps are pretty easy. And let's see. Let's go back here. Some of the steps are pretty easy, so we might as well just actually go through each step. Does that sound okay? Because the quick steps will be quick, and the other steps are important, but that will give me the opportunity, to make a new skill that's not my actual skill and not reveal my actual like Home Assistant URL and some of those things. Does that sound fair? I know Blade would be terribly disappointed that he's not going to have access to new secrets, but he'll get over it, right? All right, here we go. So Keaton's got great instructions. I already actually skipped the first page. I'm not even going to bother with this part. You have to make an input text, and this is just to give you some way to confirm that it worked at the end. All right, so you make an input text entity, and you just copy and paste this. You don't have to make any changes to it. Okay, not going to go into that in any more detail than that. This is the part people are going to get hung up on. It's making the custom skill. Okay, so to make the custom skill, you go to this developer.amazon.com website, and you log in with your regular Amazon credentials, right? What? Is it already public in the config? No. Better not be. Better not be, Valcop. I hope not. Maybe it is. Whatever. After the issues with the port, I opened an issue and he updated the wiki, so it should be a bit easier for people. Okay, good, Thanos. Good. Let's go through it and see. I haven't looked at the wiki again in a couple days or so. We'll see. I'm not going to stop right now, Valcop, and check that. That would be a long squirrel down a path that I can't do anything about right now anyways. If I did leak something, then so what? It's leaked, I guess. Okay, here we go. It's not in there. Why would it be in there? Looks like the GitHub wiki is out of date. The one I'm looking at, maybe I need to update. Maybe I need to refresh. Is it already out of date? Looks cached. Shift. Edited this page 2 days ago. Probably not. Lost your stream and was given 1930s show reel on how different gearboxes work. That's weird. That's very weird. Does that look better? Squirrel. Oh, great. It's in scripts.yaml. Awesome. Okay. Sweet. Well, so be it. Thank you, Mark. Haven't done much with the bug in a few days. Probably good now. Just on the wiki landing page, I added more links. Okay. So if we go back to the landing page, this one. Did I update it? Oh, I must have pushed it, I guess. Okay. You added more links here. All right, let's do this. Custom action. Okay. Follow along. Log into Amazon here with your Amazon credentials. Okay. And then we're going to create a skill. He really does give you everything you need. We're going to do this. We're going to call this whatever you want to call it. Intent demo. That's all I'm going to call mine. All right. We want to use custom. So that needs to be selected. Great. And we want to use Python. So that needs to be selected down there. And that's all. Those two things. We put a name. We did custom. We did Python. And now create skill. Okay. The skill we want to copy for a template is just hello world. Doesn't really matter. Because we throw away all the code that they have in there anyways, I think. Is the Amazon skill ID something that should be hidden? Good question. I don't know. Is it? What can somebody do with the Amazon skill, Keaton? I would say no, but you never know because anyway, have to link an account. Skill ID doesn't need to be hidden. The skill is only accessible on your account since we don't need to actually publish it publicly. Awesome. Dev account through the console. You don't have to set up a dev account, Pat. You go to this console and you log in with whatever your normal Amazon credentials are. So whatever you use to log into Amazon to buy toilet paper, that's what you use. All right. Built the skill. We can get rid of these. Next thing. Hello world skill. Wait for it to do its thing. You get this page. Okay. Phew. We need to add a couple of new intents over here. So click add. And then you can type in. Oh, we want a custom. So we go down here to, not custom, sorry. We want this one. Use existing intent from the built-in libraries. Okay. When you guys hear that sound, you know Mrs. Z's is paging me. Go to the hotel. SpaceX launch. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Okay, so we go here, and the two intents that we need are the yes intent and the no intent. Okay, so easy thing to do, go here and search for yes. And there's the yes intent, and you can just click add intent. I'm going to move this over a little bit so we got a little bit more room here to see. So we add that intent. It says added, you're done. Then you do no. We want to add the no intent. Added, done. Okay. I think that's it. Let's see. Built-in libraries, yes intent, no intent. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go to the invocation. So this invocation is important. This is how you're going to tell Betty to enable this skill. This is what you have to say, like, enable to you convert or whatever. I tried using a fancy, unique name in here, and I caused myself a bunch of problems. Can you use secrets in a script? Yeah, I guess you probably could. I don't see why not. That's a good idea. We should probably mention that. No, Renee, being dragged into another meeting. I'm sorry, buddy. Well, we'll be here when you get back, I'm sure. Enjoy your meeting, as hard as that might be to do. Mohammed, I will post a video about that short one. It's just to reload automations. I have thanks to Violent Pooh, we have a whole bunch of really short, chopped up live streams, and it is high on my priority list to get those posted on YouTube. They're currently available on Twitch. We can say that. Yes, there are a bunch of chopped up live streams clips available on Twitch. So if you go through, I think it's like my videos or something like that on my channel for Twitch. It will really short. Some are 15 minutes. That's true. I say really short. Some are 5 minutes or 7 minutes or something like that. Some are short. That one is short, I think. The one he's talking about with the automation reload button is pretty short. The bloopers are pretty good. He does a good job. Violent Pooh is he's a good editor. He made me laugh watching some of those things. Oh, good. Bloopers and quick tips. Quick tips. All right. Back to this. Okay, so invocation. Change it to custom actions. Okay, that just makes it easy. That way we're all saying the same thing to her to initiate this. You can technically make this something unique to you, but you don't have to. And I'm going to change it because I already have one that's that's that. So don't pay attention to me. I'm going to make it custom deviation. Okay. Oh, man. Anyways, so that's that. I think that's it. Click build model once you've got this invocation name and you want custom actions in there, not custom deviation. But once you've got that done, you hit build model. Start building. It'll notify us when it's complete. So now we've got a few seconds to squirrel. Seems like the invocation name is mostly used just to check if it's working. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I think you, Jason. I think you have to use it to at least start it the first time. But I may be wrong. I'm that Quindo or Keaton could tell us. Or maybe it's just to check that it's working. But when I tried using other things, that I was coming up with out of my own brain, trying to follow their invocation name requirements here, it still got goofy on me. So yes, I will. Craziness. We've already got one again in Twitch. Violent Pooh did a shortened version from the other day where I talk about a lot of this stuff from Friday, and then we'll include this in another one as well. And then I do have I started scripting, and I even recorded over the weekend while I was hanging out with Jackson and his buddies. I even recorded a bunch of screen shots, capture stuff to be able to do this. So, is it possible to prepay for the dig? I don't know, Chris. Quindor's not doing that, so probably not. This is his baby. He's just kind enough to let me be included, and he has not wanted to do pre-orders, mostly because I think he just doesn't want to hang on to anybody's money in the meantime. I get where you're coming from, and I do want to help. So maybe I'll talk to Quindor where we can kind of come up with a plan for that, because I feel bad. I think there were a lot of people who wanted to order them and then didn't know that it was coming out this accidentally or whatever over the weekend. And so they didn't get to order and they're all gone. And I'd hate for that to happen again. Torture scrolling through 2 hours of videos to find relevant content. I hear you, KS. I hear you. I know. And that's why we're doing it. And you can thank Violent Pooh. Keaton for POTUS, and I think Violent Pooh for POTUS also. Yeah. Pooh how many hours of video have you scrubbed through, Violent Pooh? It's been, you've had to have scrubbed through 30 plus hours. The Dig Uno by Quindor. That's right. Too many. All right. Let's go to the next step. So we built the model. We made it for it to complete. Now we have to configure account linking. This is the part that everybody's been really hung up on. All right. Here we go. Go over here and click on, let's find account linking. Let's see, make sure I'm getting the right place. Near the bottom, account linking, and click on it. All right. And you do want this toggle on and this toggle off, if I recall. This is like the third time I've done this now. So enable the toggle for do you allow users to create an account? Do you allow users to create an account? Yes. Okay. The next one is allow users, enable a skill without account linking recommended. We're going to turn that off. It'll enable it by default. We need to disable it. So when you enable this one gets enabled. We need to disable it. Okay. Sweet. All right. So now down here, we have a few things we need to do. Under the authorized URI, provide your Home Assistant URL followed by authorized. Now, I think probably, I don't know, how many Home Assistant users do you think use Nabu Casa? Half? Maybe more? And of the rest who don't use Nabu Casa, they probably use DuckDNS. And then there might be a small number that use, like Keaton, that use something else. So what you need to put here, he gives you the example, right here. And I'm not going to put my Nabu Casa in there, even though you guys know what it is. To talk to Frank about getting another secret Nabu Casa But whatever you have here, whatever you have for your URL from outside goes here. Now this is the important part here that people get hung up on is if the way that you access your Home Assistant from outside is through your, all right, Leafs fan, thank you very much. Jim. If you have a port on the end of it, then you have to do stuff differently, right? Oh my gosh. Tech Turtle, a router behind a router and port forwarding, blah, 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 blah. Whew. Never nat your nat. It's not your Nabukasa. Oh, it's not my Nabukasa that's linked in my... Oh, it's the skill ID. Oh, cool. Oh, good. Well, I don't care about the skill ID. Great. Thank you, Mark, for clearing that up for me. That's excellent. That's good to know. Thank you for looking out for me. Nginx proxy. So how many of you guys have something that ends in a port here? Like that. And that's how you get to it. Is it different? With a port different from regular HTTPS will not work, as I understood. There is a method to make it happen, Valcob. There is a method to make it happen. It will work. You just have to do it differently. Something to listen to on your way home on your bicycle. You're welcome. Athemi. Be careful, don't crash. Side note, power steering and brake pumps are in for the EV project. Oh, requested everywhere. That sounds fantastic, dude. Good for you. Technically, we all have ports. Fair enough. But we don't, but this goes to what, like port 80 or something? And so it doesn't even show up here, typically, if you're just going to something.com or if you're using Nabukasa. Basically, Amazon requires... Keaton, do you have Mike? Do you want to come on with me real quick and explain this part? Because I bet you do it much better than I will. Basically, Amazon requires that account linking occurs over HTTPS, and the default port is 443. If you're running without HTTPS, or on a port, or not on the default port, 8123, account linking will not work. You ready to come on, Keaton? Because I would love to have you answer these questions. I just don't want to lead anybody astray. I basically would be just repeating what you've told me. But it does work, Valcob. There is a way to do it. You can't do account linking, but you can do it with the long-lived access token. So it can work. If you use a port, you have to forward a port in your router and use your outside IP address. Right now, Keaton's scrambling, trying to find a microphone. Right? Thanos says port forwarding doesn't work because that's what he was trying. DuckDNS and Nginx reverse proxy. Okay. Finally got notification, Metal Wolf. Fantastic. I don't use port forwarding. Can I use this? Do you use Nabukasa, Iswaran? To make this work, you have to expose your instance to the internet. You have to have a way to access it from outside, yes. And Keaton can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think, I know he mentions down here, account linking will not work if your Home Assistant installation is only reachable by port 8123. If you have Home Assistant configured this way, please use the long-lived access token instead of account linking. Place your long-lived access token there. We'll get to that part. No Nabukasa. Okay. Actually can't get the mic on now. Very sorry. Okay, well, that's all right. We can deal with this. Just help me out answering questions then. Help me out answering questions. Can you access this? I'm pretty sure you cannot use just a local only URL, right? You can't just put in, like, for most of the time when I'm looking at Home Assistant, I'm going to, what's this? There's 100 of them? Did you count them? Sorry, buddy. I think Dawson's done packing them. Anyone got Bluetooth LED beacon working at Home Assistant? Nope. If you use a port, you need to skip the whole account linking step and then go to the code. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking. I think if you're accessing it through your IP address inside your home, this is not going to work. So if you don't have access outside, you do. Sorry, internet accessible, not internal accessible. Yeah, so you do have to have your home assistant accessible to the outside world in order for this to work. So whether that's Nabu Casa or whether you are opening a port in your router and disguising it in whatever way you want, it has to be accessible. Huh? Oh, no, there's some over here. Well, that's great then. We don't even need to buy any more of those. That's awesome. This one has 5. This one has 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I think I have one over here somewhere. You got them all? Okay. Dawson boxed up 100. Already done packing them. Yeah, he packed up 100 of them this morning. Good job, buddy. You can put them back in the box, sure. Or you can now leave them up there. Leave them up there because we're going to stick them in envelopes here in a little bit. Thank you very much, son. Good job. Bye. Great job. You don't need a domain if you're using DuckDNS. Hip, hip, hooray. Well, you have to have whatever you have for outside. I don't know how many different situations is. What we'll probably have to do with everybody's help, like Thanos has done, and maybe Valcob, if you haven't done it already, get with Keaton and make sure that in the wiki, we have a description for each method so that people who use DuckDNS, if you use DuckDNS, this is what you need. If you use something else, whatever it is, Nginx, I don't know. You know me, I don't know. I don't understand some of those things. Then this is how you do it for those. All right. The green in the chair looks awful because of the green screen. There you go. Hey, Rhinus, good evening from the Netherlands. DuckDNS provides an external domain. Nginx allows you to use the domain internally as well as externally. Gotcha. I thought I was good for getting my hue dimmer switch to turn off my television. Long way to go yet. Hey, small victories. No problem. We're going to celebrate small victories too with this one. I tried buying right when you put the link in VigiUno boards, but kept getting an error after PayPal checkout. Oh, that was probably before I fixed the PayPal checkout for Trax. And then as soon as I fixed it, people got to it pretty quickly. So we'll get some more, and maybe we'll see, Quindor will talk about whether we can do pre-orders or not. Is the functionality the same? You're going to the dentist? You poor girl. Are they going to pull that out?
Check it.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Well, I don't know. I am. When I'm coming with her. I'm coming with her.
Dawson just about had a heart attack. He thought he was going to go to the dentist.
I'm going with her, so she's coming.
Oh, good. Finally took a leap and bought a Synology NAS. So KS, something like this, you just can't do internally. You might be able to do it internally if you're using Mycroft. Maybe they have some way to do this, but what we're trying to do here is really unique. This is really unique. Basically, you are setting a trigger in Home Assistant. Time of day, temperature, certain people in certain parts of the house. Anything you can think of as a trigger. The action that trigger triggers is to have Amazon Echo say something to you, ask you a question. Do you want me to turn the lights off? Do you want me to lock the doors? Is anybody home? And then you answer yes, no, or nothing. Or you can actually answer with other words, which we'll look at the end here, in the advanced section. So you can answer with other words as well. And then she takes another action based on what you answer. So you answer yes, she turns on the light or turns off the light or locks the doors or calls the police. I don't know. So that's pretty unique. Like to have that kind of a conversation interaction with Amazon Echo, you can't do that just internally. The port does need to remain open. Amazon uses this to refresh the short-lived account linking uses. Great. Oh, right now, Rhinus, yes. As far as we know right now, yes. It's my guess is that Google Home has the capability to do this, but we need somebody like Keaton who is as savvy with Google Home to make it happen. But my guess would be that the functionality is probably there. Somebody just needs to draw it out, like Keaton has done with Amazon Echo. Kind of like a skill tree based off if this then that. Interesting. Yeah. How reliable is it? So far, Deegan, it's been pretty reliable for me. It's been reliable for me. The only time the time that I have had it not work was because I changed the code here and redeployed it, and then I needed to reset the skill again and like log into Home Assistant through the skill. You've got it listening for a duration. That's awesome. Yeah. So something is on for a certain amount of time or off for a certain amount of time or whatever. Turn the fan on for 20 minutes. Yeah, that's like that. I'm going to actually have to turn on the air conditioning, I think, in a minute. Maybe we want to try Media Player again. I was never able to get that to work. Yeah, Deegan, it's a must. If you have Amazon Echo, you got to have the Media Player. And it's gotten much better at working now. And Keaton's here right now, so. Local control, Ryoto says. Local control, local control. That's like, oh, the Zigbee. Oh, the Zigbee. Local control. Oh, yours checks if you took your meds. Nice. That's great. I've thought of a few things that I'm going to have it check, but haven't got all of them done yet. Okay. Well, we got to move on through this. And this is the really, really sticky part here. So continuing on, you need your outside accessible URL for Home Assistant in this space right here, whatever it might be. Okay. If you're Nabu Casa, I know for sure that it works. You put all your jibbly jabbly wabada wabada in there, and then it ends in Nabu Casa. All right. And then what we've been talking about is if you have to have port 8123 there, then I guess do you just skip this whole account linking step, Keaton? You would just skip this whole account linking step. Would be my understanding. So in this box, you put whatever Home Assistant Nabu Casa, and then in this box, you do the same thing, but instead of authorize, oh, right, Father Time, thank you, cheered 45, thank you, buy some Dr. Pepper. Instead of authorize in this step, you do token. You say auth token. Okay, but this part will be the same. The HTTPS part at the beginning will be the same. Okay, client ID. If you're in the US, there's one URL. If you're in the EU, there's a different one. And if you're in, I guess that's Japan and Australia, then there's another one. So for me in the US, I'm going to use this one. Copy that guy, paste it in there. Done. The secret, type anything. So I just typed in a bunch of googly blah, 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 like that. You don't have to remember it. You don't need to know it at all. You just have to have something in there. So there you go. So yes, and Keaton confirms. Thank you very much, WebChew. Thank you very much. Do you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes. I think it's time for unicorns or planes. Boom! Look at that thing explode the cup. Unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes. And what I need to do is make it so the mods can fire off the unicorns or planes, because I ask people, do you want unicorns or planes? And then I don't even see what their answer is. Okay, Keaton says, what about the client ID if you're in South America? Good question. Good question. Good question. Unicorn, did I guess right? I guessed right. Thank you, 4Tracks. Hopefully not a prostate check. Oh my gosh. With the unicorn? Yeah. Would be great to add exported example code to do this in Node-RED. I saw somebody had, oh man, I don't know what I did with it. I don't think I saved the link, but there is someone out there. Maybe he posted it. Did you see it, Keaton? I think it's in Facebook. Somebody posted how they did the automation parts in Node-RED. Looking forward to how to make a smart home skill using Tasmota. Ooh. Maybe. For iOS actionable notifications? Well, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I had it wrong. I thought it was this, but maybe it was different. Maybe it was different. Gary did his in Node-RED. Steven linked it above. Oh, good. Great. So if it's been linked, hopefully the links are sticking. Anything that gets put in here should go to the Discord live stream links channel for perpetuity. So you can go back and refer to it later. That could get you in the doghouse. Uh-oh. All right. So we put in a random crazy secret here. We put in our client ID there. The authentication scheme, the one we want to use, is credentials in request body. Again, this is only if you don't use a port at the to access your Home Assistant, right? So this is going to be Nabu Casa and probably a few others. All right. Last, click Add Scope, and under here you put Smart Home. All right. And add scope, Smart Home. Click Save in the upper right. Done. Now the fun. We get to add the code. Oh, you followed Steven's guide. Fantastic. Same guy with the iOS. Oh, good. So it is the same guy. All right. Way to go, Steven. Steven gets a critical hit. I need to fix my buttons. Bang. I guess the general rule is, when in doubt, use long-lived access token. But it is slightly less secure since the token will never change. You may have to go back in and, or if it ever got leaked, you'd be accessible. I know long-lived access token is an option, but not the first option. Do you think you should properly credit Keaton Taylor in that site? Oh, probably true. Give Keaton some love. Lots of time on my hands to write nowadays. Nice, Steven. Well, good job. I briefly looked at it. I didn't see it too much, but okay. Moving on. Next, we're going to add the code. So we saved it. The changes are successfully saved. Now we need to go up here. I know at least one person got stumped by not being able to find this, but near the top of the page, it says code. Click on the code. Here's the example code, this lambda function py. We're just going to scrap all that. Bye-bye. Poof. Nothing there. Okay. We're going to go to this repository. Go up here to the top. I'm going to open in a new tab. Open the code in a new tab. And here he has a lambda function py. So just grab all this. It's long. Almost ran out of words. Copy that guy. Take it over here and paste it in. Bingo. And then there is one place that you have to change a couple things. And that's right here. And what you have to do here is put in, again, your Home Assistant URL that you use to access from outside. Now, if you use a long-lived access token, you still need this, right? This part you still put in, because you can't not put that in or it'll never connect to Home Assistant. Replace this with the URL for your Home Assistant front end, where you access it from outside. Oh, good. I just got the notice from If This Then That I'm streaming. Fantastic. It's good to know. Oh, man. No, you don't. Mention his name. Oh, sorry. Meeting pause. Later, peeps. All right, Ryoto. Oh, yeah. Because that's exactly right, Violent Pooh. That's why. That's why you have to, that's why we don't care about If This Then That. That's why we got to get Paul using Home Assistant. Okay. So you're going to put in here, whatever your DuckDNS or whatever your Nabu Casa or whatever you use. And here you can, I assume you could put the port, right? So if you had a port, externally accessible URL, and you must provide it. Yep. All right. Hey, Alex, how you doing? So if you had, if this was something where you accessed it through port 8123, you could do that. Okay, great. Replace it with the URL from the Home Assistant front end. Done. If you're using an S here, then you make this true. And for Nabu Casa, you make it true, and it works great. If you were unable, is that your Nabu Casa URL? I guessed it right, Gary. Ooh, I got mind powers. Very good. Now, if you do have this port problem, or let's call it an option. It's not a problem, it's an option, right? The world needs variation. So if you're using a port here and you were not able to do the account linking from earlier, then you need to put a long-lived access token here. To get a long-lived access token, if you have never done it and you don't know where it is, you do it through, I believe it's this page. That's a popular sound today. Long-lived access token. And I'm going to give you access to this long-lived access token because I'm just going to delete it. So I don't care. So you'd scroll down here to the bottom. So you go to your profile page in Home Assistant. Scroll down here to the bottom. Create token. Give it a name. You're going to want to call this. Okay. Or whatever you want to call it. Just call it something. And then it will give you the token. Copy that token. It will not be shown again. It disappears forever. Okay, so we copied that token. And now it's going to appear down here. Right there. And then we're going to delete it. Don't really delete yours. Okay, that's just me being safe. Okay, so then I'm going to put that long-lived access token right there. Okay. Basically, that's like your password. That's giving this thing access to your Home Assistant forever. All right. New subscriber from Germany would like to say your tutorials are awesome. Thank you very much. Sasha, thank you very much for subscribing. Do you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes or Dr. Pepper. All right. And that's it. So you have to put in these things here. If you are using, if you were successfully able to use the account linking step, then you do not need a long-lived access token. If you don't know, Dr. Pepper. Okay, thank you very much, boo. If you're not sure if it's going to work or not, if you're not sure if your account linking in the previous step for account linking, if you're not sure that's going to work, just put in a long-lived access token, and then that should make it work. Got the wife addicted to WLED. Now she asked me to get a third controller for under the counters. Yes, Raspy, that is success. That is success. If your wife is asking you to put up more LEDs, you've done it right, buddy. Nice job. Nice job. Whoa. What time are you going to the dentist?
1.
Oh, you poor sweet girl. I love you. It's been nice having you as my daughter. All right. That's it. Okay. Once we're done with that, we can deploy. I don't mean deploy like to some foreign war. I mean just deploy the code. Let's make sure we've got this part right. We did that part. Adding the code is the part we were on. If you need to ignore SSL verification, you can set that to false. Okay. Some of those things you're going to just have to know for your instance, I suppose, but I think for the most part, this is going to work. Bring, bring. All right, Father Time, thank you very much. What have we not done yet today? We haven't done the Wii. Wii. How do you use the new Twitch emotes? I think in your Twitch chat, you go here, and there should be right here under DrZzs. You can go Dr. Pepper, unicorn farts, rock on, rock on, and then they pop up. Pretty cool, eh? And then it makes a really ugly thing in the YouTube chat for everybody. Sorry. Sorry. Nope, it's annoying. Which part is annoying? all those emotes? Some of them are fun. She saw the LED counter lights on HGTV and now we have to do it. Awesome. Yours doesn't show those? Really? Oh, it should. It probably doesn't show the Rock On one. Are you subscribed, 4Tracks? You're a subscriber, aren't you? It's like watching TV in China with images all over the screen. Hey, Mr. Paul, how's it going? Twitch. Man, I wonder why yours aren't there. That's funny. That is a Twitch thing. Sorry about everybody on YouTube going, oh, all this stuff is just bogging down the chat. We could just, I mean, the option there, the alternative is just to not have the Twitch chat pass over to YouTube, which we could do, but then you guys wouldn't be able to talk to each other cross-platforming. Try refreshing what page? Oh, for 4 tracks. Yeah, that's weird, man. I don't know. So the screen glitch next to your head. This? That is probably, oh, you know what that is? Is the scale sticking out over the edge of the table. There. Boom! Somebody just exploded that thing and I totally missed who it was. Would you like unicorns or planes? So unicorns or planes, and I'm just going to do planes in the meantime. Bang! Alcatraz subscribed for 2 months concurrently in a 2-month streak. Yes! Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty. So we're done here. We've done what we need to do. We pasted in this code. We put in our Home Assistant URL, the way we access Home Assistant externally. If we're using encryption, that is, if we have an S here, then we say true. If we did not have an S here, which is scary, hopefully everybody does, then you would put false. I didn't used to, actually. I used to be thank goodness you guys are here to straighten me out, or my house would have been hacked to pieces a long time ago, even without all my secrets out there. And then if you're not sure whether it's going to work or not, you can just put in a long-lived access token down there. And then that's it. We're going to save that, and we're going to deploy it. Now, mine's actually not going to do anything, right? Because it's not actually going to be able to connect to Home Assistant. This is all just for example. But the skill is there, right? So that's true. That's what it did. Still there. It's smaller, but it's still there. Really? Part of it is if I just move my chair there. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Sorry. I'm sorry that my green screen is failing today. Ooh. You mean that's the floor over there? That's the floor behind me. That's the floor behind me too. Still a line? You guys are crazy. Somebody's got some OCD out there. Somebody's got some OCD. Oh yeah, Scarlax. We can check on that. Remind me. Can you remind me again in like 2 minutes so we can finish this, and then I'll do that. So once you've deployed this, you got to do some more things. First, wait. I think you have to go. Don't you have to go into your thing and do your skill? Completed all the steps to create your custom skill. You can now. Here we go. You have to do this part. This part gets kind of lost, I think. Father Time, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think this part gets lost a lot. You have to go to your Betty app, or you can also do it through the web page. But you do have to go here and actually enable the skill. So you go to skills, and then your skills. And then dev skills, and I now have 2. When you first click on this and enable it, so if I disable my actual skill that's actually working and then enable it, it's going to take me to Home Assistant and it's going to ask me to log in. So now I can log in with my password. You guys ready to capture my keystrokes? I think that thing looks like it's going to show my password. Oh no, it wasn't going to show my password. Okay. So that icon made me think it was going to show the password. That would have sucked. Okay, you guys got those keystrokes? Now, if you're a good boy like me, you have 2-factor authentication. So then you have to go to the Authy app, or I don't know if there's others that you can use, but that's what I use. Authy, and then it will give you a 2-factor authentication code. This one it will show you, but I suppose it doesn't matter because it'll change next time I try it anyways. And now I am logged in. to Home Assistant. Oh, there's my Nabu Casa address if everybody didn't get that up at the top. You love when my kids are awesome. You love when they move into the screen and hope that nobody sees them. I think they hope that people do see them. So now, if I want to check and make sure that it's working, I can do this. Enable custom actions.
I have a few skills that can help. Did you mean customer service?
No.
Okay, how about custom jokes?
Never mind.
All right.
Let's try that again. Fail button. Muted. Okay, it worked. Sorry. It worked. It worked. So what she responded with was, it's 9 o'clock. Would you like me to make the bedtime announcement? And so and the reason she said that is because that's the last command I told her, the last text that I gave her to say. So if I hadn't done that in the past, then she would have said, this is a test of the actionable notifications or whatever. Did it work? What did I say to her? I said, open custom actions. Just like kind of what Keaton says here. He says, if you go to this skill, you click on dev, you enable the skill, and it'll ask you to link to Home Assistant. So you do that. And then you say, open custom actions. And the reason in custom actions, this is what we put in our invocation text. So if we go back here to the skills, and we go to this one, in our invocation text here, this is custom actions, right? That's what it should be. So that's the same as this. That's how you initiate it. You get her started, okay? What are we doing? Oh, hey, Nipper, we're doing more actionable notifications with Amazon Echo. Need a momentary mute button. Only muted when you press the button. That's a good, you're right about that. I thought I pushed it again, but it obviously didn't register. Use ask when you have a question related to the topic. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pooh. Do you have a dynamic beep sound while saying, oh, that would be nice. That would be another option. Okay. I was just thinking the same thing. The reminder, Holiday Light Competition. Okay, let's take a detour for 2 seconds. We're going to talk about the Holiday Light Competition. It worked on your end, Crow? Bang! Yes! Don't forget to hit that like button. That's right. We will come back and finish this. We actually do have a couple things we still have to do. We'll come back and finish that. But in the meantime, because Scarlax is asking where we're at with this, I want everybody to know. Yes, dear? I'm sorry, is it? Looks like maybe you got stung by something or got bit. It'll either work or you'll have to fix it again instead of work or explode. All right. If you go to Discord, there is a holiday lights. Is that where we put it, fellas? Holiday LEDs? I think so. Is that where this is? We made a competition to design X-Lights shows for my backyard. I think this is it. Yep, here it is. So we've got an X-Lights contest. So in my backyard, a few streams ago, we designed where ultimately I would like to have a bunch of props and a bunch of lights and stuff for the backyard. And in order to kickstart my supply of already done shows, some of these pixel heads, as they like to be called, came up with this idea to have a contest. And I have 800 pixels to give away. So, that's those bullet lights. So I have 800 of those to give away. Two boxes, actually. One is going to go to somebody in the U.S. and one will go to somebody internationally. Okay. You can follow the instructions here and submit this tells you what to do. It gives you the folders, gives you the files you need, and then you can go in and make a sequence. I'll mute the music. I don't know what the music is, but look, he's got a sequence going here. I wonder what it is. It's got somebody playing the drums over there. Oh yeah, go ahead, Dawson. Hit it. So this is one that Tech Turtle looks like played around with. This the next page right there. So anyways, I don't know. How do we have, let's see, Tech Turtle or others? How many submissions have we received so far? Do we know? I figured it would take a little while for people to start submitting them. Is it the little drummer boy? Oh, that'd be awesome. 4Tracks, thanks for all the streams. You're so welcome, 4Tracks. Thank you for being here, buddy. Thank you for being here. I haven't seen submissions yet, but I'll look at them eventually. We're going to run it for a couple months. So I think we said July 6th is when we'll stop taking submissions, and I'll make an announcement about who won. And we'll go through a bunch of them. We'll go through a bunch. We'll look at them. We'll watch them. It'll be fun. Should be a pretty cool thing. And then we'll give out the 2 big bags of pixels. Only 2 so far. And yes, it's the little drummer boy. Hey, if there's only 2, there's going to be a lot of, you guys are going to be happy with your pixels. And Dawson is reminding me we are carving watermelons for the 4th of July. We decided that a while back. We're going to do watermelon carving for 4th of July like we do pumpkin carving on Halloween. Oh, there you go, 4Tracks. Now you got your Dr. Pepper and your bug and your farting unicorns. Thank you. All right. Scarlax, does that satisfy you there? Have Mrs. Z's be the judge. Ooh, I like that. I like that, Garber. I like that. Okay. So back to this, because we still have to finish. We've got the skill working now. We have our skill working. I'm going to just go ahead and delete this other skill that I made because I don't need it anymore. This one. Bye-bye. Because this is my real one. So we did the skill part. That's the hard part, honestly. The hard part is there. If you've got it, we should be the judge. Make a poll. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Thanos. I like that too. We'll just give Mrs. Z some extra bonus credit, right? We'll give her some points so she can vote. Like her vote will be worth like 5 votes or something. We got to make her feel special, right? Mother's Day. Well, it won't be Mother's Day anymore, but there was a Mother's Day, so we should still be celebrating it in July, probably. All right. Moving on. Next steps. We have to set up our first actionable notification. Okay, the first thing we got to do is make this script. And this is where I leaked my skill ID, which doesn't matter. So you take this script here, and if you have a scripts file already, which I did, I only had like 2 scripts in it. So I broke it out of my configuration.yaml file, but I didn't really break it out tremendously beyond that. I think it's actually still in my config folder. Yep, right there. So scripts. Open that guy. Mrs. Z's narrows it down. Okay, that's cool. We'll let her like pick the top 5, and then we'll let everybody go from there. All right. Hopefully we have more than 5. All right. So ignore this part up here about browser tablet. That's not important. This is the part, the script that we need. So we just paste this in. So just paste what Keaton has there for you in the example. And then you need to get your content ID. And this is your skill ID. And you get the skill ID over here. And all you do is back on this developer page, you just click this view skill ID button, and your skill ID will pop up, and you can copy it and paste it in there. And that's all. Save that. Right? And then I think you're going to need to restart Home Assistant once you've added something to this script. I believe, I may be wrong. Did you forget Mother's Day too? No, Tyson, I did not forget Mother's Day. But you mean, did I forget it too? Like you forgot it? Oh, you're in trouble, buddy. You are in trouble. You'd be sleeping out in the garage. All right, so we save this script. with the skill ID in it. And now we can move on to the notifications, to the action parts, the automation parts. So I think I talked about this before a little bit, didn't I? No, there's a button. Oh, there is a button just to reload scripts. Oh, good. I didn't even know that. See, I'm just so used to reloading the whole thing. Login attempt failed. So probably configuration, reload scripts. There you go. Oh, nope, that's not right. Server controls. Reload scripts. There you go. You can just reload scripts. I did. Oh boy. Told her a couple days before that I'm sure I'm going to forget her. Stuff is in the mail. Told her Happy Mother's Day. Okay. Yikes. That's like one of the cardinal sins of husbandry, right? Like one of the cardinal sins is to forget Mother's Day. So how do you guys do it in the UK? You guys do it on the 14th of March? That's crazy. Doctor, did I get my Sonoff ZB bridge? I have not yet, Message. It should be coming, unless you have no children. Hey, Wilhelm, how you doing, buddy? I did get my, so another detour here, another short detour. The animated, if you're using the animated backgrounds, if you're using the Lovelace animated backgrounds, if you watched the stream on Friday, mine broke. It's 72 degrees outside. I think it's time to turn this off and turn the air conditioning on. There we go. And that's the kind of thing that I want her to do. So that's one of the skills I want to set up. Maybe we can even do that now if we got time. Is I want Betty to say, you're running the quiet cool fan, but it's getting kind of warm outside. Would you like me to turn off the fan and turn on the air conditioning? And then she can say, the air conditioning's on, but blah, blah, blah window is open. Get off your butt and go shut it. You're not my mother. Oh, wow, Gary, you get away with that? Man. What I was saying here about the animated backgrounds was the way that this raw config section is structured changed. So instead of referring to an HTML file that had each of these listed, it just does this. So you can, I guess this makes it easier. You can just slide in new ones to whichever categories you want. So this actually makes it so that you can edit it here instead of editing it in the HTML file. So I like this. It's a good change. Good job, Wilhelm. Thank you, buddy. Notification for outside temperature versus inside temperature when the HVAC is on. That's good. That's what I need to do. I just haven't conceptualized what I want to be my triggers exactly. So that's why. I do automate my AC, Rutger, but, well, some of it is, but I haven't, I keep adding things. So I turn off an automation so that I can make a different one, a better one. If you don't necessarily want a video, you can take it out here too. And now it supports still images if you don't want a video. Oh, awesome. So you could put a still image in here too. Oh, that's super cool, dude. Man, this is fantastic. This needs to become a permanent part of Lovelace. Do you hear that, Frank? I don't know if you have anything to do with that, but this needs to become a permanent thing. I guess it doesn't matter. It's close enough to permanent now anyways. All right. Back. Now we're getting back to finishing up our Amazon Echo stuff. Okay. The way I think about this is to make each of these actionable notifications for Amazon Echo work, you need two automations. If you're using Node-RED, it's probably different. Steven did that little guide. You can check that out, whatever. You need to figure out how to change Betty's voice to Hal. Nice. I'm sorry. Sorry, DrZzs. I can't do that. Or Jarvis, yeah. So you need two automations. The first one is to set the trigger that initiates her first announcement to you, the question that she's going to ask you. So you need a trigger first. That's this part. In this case, this example, he's using lock the front door. I used, and this can be lots of things. And again, I asked on Friday for everybody to start submitting the things that they want to use, because I think we all need, I do anyways, some help with the ideas, right? We've got this awesome palette, this great feature, and now we need to figure out the best ways to use it. And we can do that best by sharing our ideas. Fun fact, speaking in Greek in the house, she gets triggered 50% of the time. Apparently half of the Greek language sounds. Well, that's probably true. That's funny, Thanos. That is funny. All right, Kepu just subscribed. Thank you very much. We're going to do this for you. I haven't done that one today. Let's see. Where do you put what in Discord, amigo? Oh, where do you put them in Discord? We made a channel. Thank you very much. We made a channel. I know we've had people say, we have too many Discord channels, and we probably do. We probably do. But there is now a She Who Shall Not Be Named Actionable Notifications Discord channel. So you can put something in here as your examples. You know, a link to a gist or something like that. I think, and then Keaton, you can, or Keaton, do you want us to do that? Or do you want us to submit them somehow to your wiki page and let you approve them or something? I think he has an examples page on the wiki, so that might be the preferred way to do it. We'll let Keaton weigh in on that, however he wants to manage that, because it's his baby. It's his baby. Please put your links in the Discord live streams channel. Oh yeah, okay, that'll work too. I mean, if you post a link here, it'll go there. Haven't looked since Friday. Oh, I just made that. I think I made it this morning, last night or this morning, because Keaton asked. Keaton was asking if we could have it one place where people would ask their questions, because people were in Home Assistant Discord in general and all over the place. So I made that there. I think I want to make an examples directory in the GitHub repo. Great. But I can curate that from examples I see. Perfect. So why don't we post your examples in Discord. Keaton will know where to find them, and then he can load them to GitHub. Or you can load them directly to GitHub yourself. Either way. Either way. Okay. I opened up this because I wanted to show you my examples, and then we'll look at, Keaton's got several other examples on his as well. So we'll look at the examples. So I go to automations, and I made a folder here where I'm going to keep these automations. And I've got, right now I only have 2 of these actionable notifications set up. One of them is the one that I tested on Friday, where I open this closet door in the office and the light bulb turns on. So if the closet door is open for more than 3 minutes, then she's going to say, hey, you want me to shut the closet door? So we can try it again, make sure it's still working. Is there a reason why you exhaust Home Assistant in Proxmox? I don't know, Sasha. The reason to use Proxmox is if you have extra resources from that computer that you would like to use for other things. Otherwise, you don't need Proxmox. You can just run Home Assistant as the operating system, which is why it's still a perfectly good option to use a Raspberry Pi, just as long as you have some sort of a system for a contingency plan should your SD card die, because it can do that. Read that again. Read what again? You are the reason why I now exhaust Home Assistant in Proxmox. Oh, I am the reason why. Whoops. Well, I hope that's okay. It's good if you want to run other things. So, till you convert other instances of other operating systems is fine. Maybe wrong translation from Google. Oh, okay, no problem. If you have a strong PC that you're using, like I've got this Nook and it's got extra resources, so then then you use Proxmox to be able to use those extra resources. Okay. If you don't have extra resources, you don't need to use Proxmox. What is this? Oh, it didn't like that you said strip. It's like, oh, strip. That's a naughty word. You have a Nook, then yes, you should use Proxmox, because at the very least, you can have 2 instances of Home Assistant, and you can play with one of them and make it a development version where you can do updates first and try things out if you don't want it to mess up what you've already got running, and you don't want to turn the lights on in the middle of the night and wake up your wife like I do. Mm-hmm. Oh, you have used Proxmox, and that's awesome. Okay, good. All right. So what I've got here is each of these. Oh, man, sorry, Pooh. I'm making it hard for you, but I am putting in markers. Wondering which LED controller is good? Man, a D1 Mini and a Quinn LED board or a Node MCU. Unless you're going to use, if you're going to do like the big shows, then a Culp board or a Falcon board. We're gonna have a stream about that pretty soon too, because I'm gonna have to buy some of those big boards now too. I know, squirrel. I just made a marker for Pooh saying that. But where can you buy those? You can buy them if you're outside the United States. You can buy them through Quindor directly, and they come already loaded with WLED, or in a couple weeks.
The door has been open for a while. Would you like me to turn off the light?
Yes.
Okay.
She didn't turn off the light though. Interesting. She didn't turn off the light. I wonder why. It triggered, but the light didn't turn off. I don't know why. Fail. Yep, fail button. That's a fail button. If I had to guess, I would say that light bulb like temporarily fell off the network or something ridiculous. She turned off your light, Pooh. Oh, good. Well, as long as somebody's light got turned off, right? Sheesh. Oh, man. She's lying. The moment IO broker. It's always okay. Is there a way to control her response? Good question. Yes, I think there is. I think you can do that in the in here. That's more of, I think that's where you can do it. So I think there is a way. This is how you can change what she responds with. I don't remember how. You got to poke through these settings in here, I think. And I don't remember exactly how. And it might, I think it's specific to different devices. So different Amazon Echoes have different ways. You can set it to device location. That's not where I live. Wake word, follow-up mode. Follow-up questions without repeating the wake word. Language, measure units, about serial numbers. You guys have all that now. I don't remember if there's something in here you can do like that or not. I felt like there was, but I'm not 100% sure. That's nice. That's nice, Pooh. Fine, you lazy slob. Anyways, I thought it was in there somewhere. I could totally be wrong. I'm often wrong. All right, back to this. Let's look at these examples again. Let's look at Keaton's example. So I started to say I have, for each actionable notification, you need two automations. One of them triggers her initial response to you. And the other one is when you respond to her, when you say yes or no or nothing or blue or purple or whatever, then she does something else. That requires a second automation. So for me, this is one that I made. And you know what? I tried this, Keaton, and it didn't work with the, group. But we'll talk about it anyways, because Keaton says it did work for him. So I probably just did something wrong here. Okay, this is I called this one the announcement. So for terminology's sake, for me, in my mind anyways, we've got one automation that is the announcement. That's her making the announcement to us initially. Then we respond and she takes an action. Turn off the lights, whatever. So the initial one here is the announcement. For me, I just put a certain time of night, 9 o'clock at night. Then the action is going to be a service, which is, this is always going to be the same. This basically runs that script that we set up. This runs the script we set up. Under the data, you've got 3 parts here that you get to customize. The first one is what you want her to say. Again, this is her initial announcement to you. So this would typically be a question that she's going to ask you. Refrigerator door is open. You spelled the service name wrong in the previous one, did I? Oh, well, that would probably make it not work. Brief mode does not stop the OK. Just tried. Bummer. Oh, Jason, talk to Keaton because there is something about that. We'll get there in just a minute. But you might also be able to mix this with what Creative has done with varying different things that she says in different responses. Like instead of actually typing in the text here, you could make this a template and or make it so that she randomly picks one of 3 or 4 things that she says. That's pretty cool, right? Exactly. Okay, good. So I totally could do that. That's different than what I was thinking. I misunderstood you, but that's a great idea. I love it. All right. The event ID. This, you need to make sure you know what it is and that it makes sense because you're going to use this event ID in the action automation and they will have to match or it won't work. That's the link between the announcement and the action. So this event ID, you get to name it what you want, but you got to know what it is or copy it to the other one. Okay, make it make sense, and you can't repeat it. It can't be the same thing for multiple automations. It's got to be unique for each one of these. So for me, actionable notification bedtime. Beauty, right? Thanks, Doc. How fitting for you. Oh, awesome. That's cool, Pooh. Thank you. That's really cool. All right, Sir Goodenough's here. How you doing, buddy? And then you specify which Amazon Echo device you want it to go to. Now, Keaton, if he's still here, he tested out groups and said that it worked. And so he made a group with different Amazon Echoes listed in the group and then just called the group here and it worked. I think that's what he did. We were kind of chatting. Groups is not working. Okay. It's not working for me either. So maybe Keaton needs to show us how he did his because he must have done it differently than the way I'm trying to do it or the way that Valcob tried to do it. There is a way, Keaton said you can do this so that it will announce it to like 3 or 4 or however many different devices you want. Otherwise, you just list one device that you want it to use. Can you go to the automation where you create them in the settings area? Not sure. Okay. And dib's not working. Easy and node red. There you go, Gary. Okay. So DD says it's not working for him either. Okay. So there's a way it's supposed to work. I guess there's a bug or glitch or we're doing something wrong. Media, all Echo devices, the same thing, not working. Okay. Can you do a new video showing how to install the new U channel brackets? Oh, I totally will. Jaren. I totally will. In fact, we could squirrel over there right now. Huh? We could squirrel over there right now. Here's a little hidden secret. Well, actually, I think if you go to RGB Man's website, and I'm going to talk to him about putting it on the front page. I think it needs to be on the front page. It's not loading very well. There. So if you go here, you can find the permit track. And talking with the people that are sending it to us from China, it's going to be in boxes of 10. So we just have to sell it boxes of 10. And we looked at shipping all different places and what it was going to cost and thought a nice even split would be to just include shipping. So this is shipping included. So this is 50 feet of this stuff, 10 of these 5-foot sections for $150. We've got 2 colors, dark brown and bronze. Can you see all that? Dark brown and bronze. And you can buy it with lights, which will add $25 for however many lights that ends up being, 200 lights or something, or without lights. You can get holes in the bottom pointing down, which is what this example shows, or you can get them pointing out, which you could arrange to be towards the street or back towards the house. And then, does he not have he doesn't have it linked here. Mike. I think he's got it linked in his Facebook page, but not there on that page. So we'll just open it up in YouTube. We'll look at all my videos. If I go to all my videos here, I just want to make sure that this is not going to... There is a hidden video. Mike wanted me to make a video and I wanted to make a video to demonstrate how you put it together and how it works. But it's not like a full-fledged big video, so I didn't do a release and all that stuff. I just, let's find this details. I want the link. Get shareable link. There we go. So we'll watch it here for a second. I'll paste it over here. And Canada. Yes, Jose. Oh, this stuff for Canada? Yeah, we're going to do something for Canada. My computer is like really struggling right now. I got too many things open probably. Look how it's... So we are going to be able to send to Canada. How to go around corners in the brackets. Yes. So what I'm going to do, Jaron, is right now all I have in my possession is this one piece. This piece right here. Okay. It's green. So I have this one piece in my possession. That's all. Me and Mike each got one from our manufacturer. So what I'm going to do though is take this one piece and I'm going to show you how to do corners, right? How to cut it and bend it to do corners or to start to go up, an angle or to bend it at a different angle at the top. So I'm going to take this one piece and show you how to do that. And then I'll be able to do more bigger examples when I have, 1,000 of these. But this is basically how it goes together. And you can push your pixels in with your fingers like this, but it gets pretty raw. Your fingers start to hurt after a while. Mike does sell these pixel pushers, which are pretty handy if you're going to be putting in hundreds of these. Save your fingertips. Pretty cool, eh? Go to configuration automations, go to the notification automation for us to see. Yeah, sure. Okay, that's it. So you want to see it. So Chris, you want to see it through the UI. You want to see how to build one of these through the UI? That's a good question. I guess you can do that. Will the video show injecting power as well? Sure. Sure. I know that throws people off, so yeah, we can do that. All right, let's go here. Now we're gonna. I don't know about doing this in the automations editor, so we'll try. We'll try, Chris, and we'll see. So I guess I can. Yeah, it looks like I can edit it here. Only automations and automation.yaml are editable. Okay, so what we would have to do, I guess we'd have to do, we skip that. New automation, we can say whatever. Actionable notification exam UI. I'm just trying to come up with something unique. Okay. So then the trigger, you can make the trigger whatever you want. So let's make it sunrise or something like that. Oh, actually sun's in here. So we're just going to do sunrise there, just for a simple something. Okay, great. You can set conditions just like you would anything else. Then the action, it's going to have to be call service, and the service is going to have to be this, the script. All right. And then this is the tricky part. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but you could just you'll have to take this and paste it into the service data. And I don't know if that's going to work or not, to be honest. Keaton being the Amazon expert, any idea why she can't play audio stored on home system? Yeah, that's a good question. I like that. I'd like to know that too. What are your considerations when deciding how large to make the strip channel? The area hiding the wires. The considerations were mostly getting your fingers in there. If you look at this, we're scrolling around again. But how did we decide? And I definitely debated, and Mike and I discussed whether that should be smaller, because it would be nice if it was smaller, probably. But for one, for the end here, let's see if I can get this to show you. For the end, I didn't want to smash the wires, so I wanted to have enough room here to not smash these wires. It could have probably been, maybe a centimeter shorter here. And maybe we'll do that in the future. We might have to, we might make some arrangements for people that buy it later. But and then the width here, the real question was just for this width here. The question was just getting in there and getting the pixels in and out. And if you're using your fingers, you need this much room. I guess you could go this way, but it would be pretty tight and it would probably be difficult. But I do hear what you're coming from, or hear where you're coming from. And we did debate it and talk about it. And if we get people saying, oh, I don't like it, it's too thick, we can redesign it. We just have to sell 1,000 of them first. Without the data template. So you just take out data template here. Like that. So you guys think that should work? Can we play stream audio? Just that the file needs to be stored somewhere in the cloud for using Dropbox. Oh, that's a good idea, DD. I know it used to be really nice when Amazon Music let you store music there, but apparently they don't anymore. What about the event ID? Actionable notification. So this event ID, Chris, this event ID is unique for each actionable notification, and it is the link between the two automations. You have one automation for an announcement, one automation for the action. This is how you link them together. So whatever you create here, it's fine. You just have to make sure that you match it in the next one. Okay, so that did let me save it. Fine. We'll go here. We'll make the next one this way too. It's all for you, Chris. It's all for you. Okay. Now the trigger, this is the action down here. The trigger is going to be an event. And I'm actually going to, the event type, I went and copied that. Now I'm not going to have it. So platform is event. So we did that. The event type is going to be, this should show up. Maybe it won't. Okay. I didn't spell that right, did I? Nope. If you don't spell things right, things won't work. And then in the event data, down here, event data, we would have event ID. And that's where we would paste in what we copied from the other one. So, this is an example, so I didn't change it, but this has to match what's in your other automation. You got that? You got that? Is that clear enough? And then it looks like we do need another part of the event data, which is the event response. Now, this is interesting. This has changed since the very beginning. All right, thank you very much for following. The event response. You've got three options with event response. You can do yes, no, or none. And this came up because, yes and no kind of makes sense. She says, do you want me to turn off the lights? You can say no. She doesn't do anything. There might be a time where you respond no, and then you do want her to do something. Okay. You can make it. So you just have to say, you have to know here in your event response, what are you going to tell her? Yes or no, to make the thing happen. Okay. So if you want her, usually she's going to ask you a yes or no question, and you're going to answer yes or no. Most likely, most often, you're going to say yes, because you're going to tell her to prompt you with the thing you're most likely to do or to want her to do. So then you say yes, and she does it. You say no, she doesn't do anything. That's fine. There's also the possibility of using response none. This is awesome because somebody brought up during the stream on Friday that you could set it up so that if, say, the lights are on and she doesn't detect any of your devices in the house, you can make a trigger. You can make that into the trigger somehow with a condition. And then she says, I notice the lights are on. Is anybody home? If nobody answers, then you can have her take the action to turn off all the lights. That would use response none. So use response none if, in order for her to take the action, you don't want to give her an answer at all. Is that cool or what? Just make sure you don't have a password in recent copies on the stream. Are you asking me something, Sammy? You have Google Glass? Lucky dog. Some are experiencing response none not working, and I have not figured out exactly why, but I'm sure you will. Okay. So in this case, we're gonna use response yes, and it probably matters which capital you get here, right? Response yes. So make sure you capitalize the right things, and then in the action, it can be whatever you want. Call service, switch, toggle, name of the switch, whatever. Okay? I don't care. This is just an example. All right, so you can do it. It's pretty simple to do it that way. It needs to be exactly the way it is in the wiki. Very good. Was telling you about the clipboard history on the comment. Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Did I have a secret in there? Whoops. Wouldn't be the first time. Hey, Reese, we're not doing bitwarden today. So you need one of those for each response. Yes. You could also have another automation. No, I'm sorry. You don't need one for each response. You can have one for each response, but you don't need one for each response. If you want her to take an action, like turn off a light, when you say yes, then you need an automation for that response, for yes. If you say no, she just stops. You don't need to create an automation in Home Assistant for if you don't want her to take an action. Okay? So again, if you only need to create the automation for the response that requires her to take an action. So if you don't want her to turn off the lights when the lights are on and you just say no, she'll just stop. And if no one's home, if there's no answer, that's a good question. If there's no answer, she'll probably, if you have it set to response none and nobody answers, then she won't do anything. Or sorry, if you have it set to response yes and nobody answers, then she won't do anything. If you have it set to response, if you wanted one for response none as well as for response yes, like a different automation for response none, then yes, you would have a different automation for that. Yeah. So if you had, say you have, in the same situation, lights turning off. If you say response yes, when you're home and you want her to turn the lights off, fine. If you want her to turn the lights off if nobody answers, then you would make another automation. But in here you would everything else would be the same. Everything else would be the same. You would just change this to response yes or response none. All right. That would mean she would take that action if either one of those things happen, whether you respond yes or whether nobody responds at all. Just use a switch in Node-RED. Probably Node-RED at this point, this is fine if you like YAML, if you use YAML, but I'm sure that Node-RED is going to have some ways to make this work. I guess you could just add a second trigger, right? It could be the same automation, second trigger. You're totally right. You don't need a separate automation. You just need a separate trigger. Thank you, Reese. You're right. Okay. And then you can still do this. You still want to link it to the same event ID. You just change this to none. And then she'll do the same thing. Whether you say yes or whether nobody answers at all, she'll still take this action of just turning the switch off or whatever. Does that make sense? Is that good? All right, what's Keaton saying? You can actually show this working if you've got time. Go to DevTools, Events, and Home Assistant and listen for the notification event. You can see events from the skill. Oh, cool. Totally, I've got time. I'm starting to get hungry, and I got a bunch of Quinn LED boards to mail out. I want to see this. You can show this working in real time. I guess I'll have to trigger that automation though too, right? Do I need... Oh, there it is. Huh. It's already there. It's already listening. But now what we can do is we can go over here and we can set off this automation. Okay. So I got this automation. I don't remember which one this was, but let's see if we can execute it. She should have said something. Oh, this is the action part. Oops. I wanted the, I set off the action. I needed to set off the notification part. She's not talking. She's not talking. Bang! Am I turning off your lights again, Pooh? Probably. Listen to events. I have to wait 3 minutes. Did I restart automations? I shouldn't have to. With the user interface, it should already be there. I don't know. Oh, that's right. That's right. Thank you, Sammy. You're right. The device that I put in there is probably not the right device. It's probably saying something else. I didn't set it up to actually work, so it's probably not surprising that it actually worked. Let's go back to, let's do the one about bedtime though, because that one should actually work. No, wait, the bedtime one. Did the bedtime one work? No, the office closet one works. The bedtime one is using groups and it's not working. Here, this is the, I think this is the one. I don't remember for sure. I don't remember if this is the action or if this is the... Oh no, the one is called example.
The office closet door has been open for a while. Would you like me to turn off the light?
No. So I guess did it show up down here? No, these aren't any different. I guess it's listening for those events. Those events are popping up there. Is that what you're saying? Can jump on a mic if you like now. Okay, sure. Let's let you get on the mic. I'm going to get off. I'm going to shut down the stream here pretty soon because I'm getting terribly, terribly hungry. When I execute her to ask the question, she does not say anything. Any clue why? I can't figure it out. There's several reasons why, Chris. I mean, just based on that, I don't know what I can tell you. Do you have the automation and you execute the automation for her and it doesn't happen? I mean, did you enable the skill? Like there's all those steps up until this point that need to be done in order for her to respond. I have one that she asks if you want to turn off the lights. If you say yes, she turns them off. If you say no, she says, fine, just trying to help. Yeah, Steven's got a good question. When you ask her to open custom actions, what does she say? Does she say something? All right, Keaton. Where you at, amigo? All right. Seamus, I know we posted this earlier. Seamus is doing his first live stream tomorrow on Facebook. Going to go through a guide he's compiled to get set up the Echo Show device and how you remotely assist someone else to set one up. Nice. Put the video up on YouTube's afterwards. Awesome. TL Tech Smart. I'm going to go there right now and subscribe and put on a bell. Ooh, I get to be subscriber number 6. This is Seamus, guys. Well, I want the bell on. Yeah. Thomas Lorenzen, TL. But I call him Seamus in Discord. Okay. Gotta go. Going to rewatch Twitch later and get this morning. Leaving Twitch. Unifart. See you later. See you later, Croth. All right. Let's try and find. Are you here somewhere? Where are you? Keaton, I'm going to call you on Discord, okay? I'm going to probably have to mess with my Discord settings. Are you there? He's typing. Can you link the channel? Heck yeah. Seamus, drop a link again for your channel. Drop a link for your channel in the chat so these guys can get it. Are you here? Briefly saw the call, but it went away. Okay, here we go. And then I got to make sure that they can hear you.
Hello.
Whoa, yeah, I hear you. All right, let me do this real quick. Hold on. That's a good microphone.
These are just the AirPods, so they seem to work pretty.
Dang, they do work pretty well. Okay. I know what to do. So this will take away the echo, I believe. Okay, great. Can you guys hear Keaton okay? Got some reverb. I think the reverb should be gone now because it was going through the speaker on my desk as well. Now it's just going through my headphones. Sing us a song, Keaton.
Okay.
Wow,
Yeah,
nobody
we're
ever,
not going to do the song part.
Oh, man. I was just going to say, nobody ever says yes when I say sing a song. You're the first. Oh, too bad you didn't sing. All right. Well, hey, dude. Okay, everybody's got you. It sounds good. Awesome. All right. Hey, this is the first time I've had a chance to actually chat with you and say hi. So, dude, thanks so much for all this Amazon Echo media player stuff from the beginning, from like a couple years ago, right? I mean, how long have you been doing this, developing on that custom component?
Oh man, I've been poking around with that. Yeah, it's got to be a couple of years now. Even if it was something like, what, a year and a half-ish ago when it was actually published, but it's been a long time coming, like wanting that functionality.
Yeah. It's been great. Like our house is full of them, and without Home Assistant, without Amazon Echo in our house would be lame. I mean, as long as you have to have some sort of good voice interaction, and not just to tell her things, but also to, get her to do things for you. So this has been, or to play songs, to play sounds and things. It's been an essential part. Would not be able to get any wife approval factor points without it. So thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's just like, especially when you start working with complex automations, it's like the voice assistants at the top of the list of making it daily.
And this is a huge step. Can we run through the advanced features? Yeah, let's do that. Let's run through the advanced features. Now, you did say you were able to pop on. Was there something that triggered that I'm forgetting about? Did somebody ask a question that you could answer? Or you want to answer some of the hard questions right now while I poke through and get to this advanced features part?
Yeah, so for the events that you were actually pulling up, if you scroll down to the bottom there on your developer tools,
okay,
there is a section which actually lets you listen to the actual events. So that DevTools actually shows you all your automations that are listening, but now you can actually listen to the event as if you were an automation effectively.
Okay. And so what I would put in here for that event is, would it be this event ID?
It would be the
The event,
Alexa underscore or Actionable underscore.
oh, it would be this part. Okay.
Yep.
So this would let you listen right now. And then if this were triggered, you would see that is triggering. So that's one way, like for Chris, who was having troubles, not sure where the trouble is, this gives you at least one more point where you can say, okay, is it getting from the trigger to her appropriately, right? Then you would see the event triggered here.
This is actually for the responses. So what you can see here is that response no, that response yes, that response none. When you actually respond to her,
okay.
It'll show you those events coming back to Home Assistant from.
Oh, okay. So let's trigger that again then. I can't remember which one it was.
I see somebody in the chat saying I accidentally said the A word, so sorry.
Oh, that's cardinal sin of streaming. Okay. Let's see. Is this?
If it's any consolation, mine activated too. So.
Okay, that's the. This is the one, I believe. Let's see if she says it.
The office closet door has been open for a while. Would you like me to turn off the light?
Yes.
Okay.
There it is. Great. And this is the she registered a response. Okay, baby, have fun at the dentist.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
It'll be okay. Bye.
Love you.
Love you. You smell good. Yeah, I agree, Pooh. They need to let people pick their own wake words. That would be so much nicer. But anyways, sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to say, Keaton? There it is. You did it. You got it. You're right.
Yeah, so this is a really quick way to see that even if your automation that is triggered from the response is not working, at least you can see that the response is getting to Home Assistant.
What? Cool. Okay, now let's go into the stuff that is going to give you a lot of trouble. You know why I say that? Because we're going to show some things here that are probably not going to work real well, or people are going to have a hard time with, and then they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. But this is the really fun stuff.
Are you sure you have
Yeah.
Baby, I don't have any masks. I don't keep masks with her. Mama had them all. I don't know where they went.
Yeah,
She can wear that one.
She's fine.
Okay. Here we go. So tell me about, I looked this stuff up. So the first thing that you talk about here is being able to do things like whisper. If you want her to whisper her response back to you. Is that correct? Is that what this will do? Or her initial topic?
Yep. So the skill is actually pulling the text that you want her to speak directly from that input text that we created. So every time the skill launches, it pulls that input text, which is updated from the script, and then says what you want. But since the skill, we have the full ability to use Amazon's speech synthesis markup language. So you can add that to your text effectively to make her do different things like whisper or use a different voice, or play sounds. Like if you wanted it to bing or bong, you could do that as well.
Really? Where's the list of all that? That's in here, right? This speech synthesis markup?
Yep. So if you follow that link, it should take you to Amazon's documentation for all the different variations.
I want her to say, to make sounds like audio.
I think it's under just sounds. I'll have to look it up some. I haven't played with it too much.
But anyways, this should all be available. This SSML should all be available. So to tell her, like, this is interesting. So an emotion, she can say it excitedly or disappointedly.
Yep.
You could say it with different intensity. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. So you started in your example here. Oh, I guess I opened it in a new tab, but you start out with Amazon Effect and then something else, right? And then the next part was like whispered, and you could do excited, disappointed, intensity, etc.
So it's actually Amazon colon emotion for the excited and disappointed, and then it's Amazon effect for the
For
um,
whispered.
whispered. Yeah, which is actually
Okay.
the only effect they have is
Oh, really? The only effect they have is whispered. Okay, so it would be emotion for this, and then you would put the name in there for what you want it to be. And then I want to look at what some of those other things are, because this is super, super cool. Let's find the sounds. Okay, so we can just keep scrolling down here, and it'll just give us a bunch of these examples, right? Emotion.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of examples. So, and these are effectively like copy paste directly into your text. You'd have to remove the new lines and make it all fit on a single line.
But you just basically take this out right here. If you wanted it to be her to say it excitedly, like the closet door has been opened. Do you want me to turn off the lights? You could just copy this in there. Let's do it. Let's totally do it. Okay. So in here, where I want her to say the door's been open, we're just gonna paste in. We're gonna paste in this part. Okay. Oh, we want not medium intensity. We want high intensity. Is that the option? What were the intensity options?
There is one more thing here I need to add to the wiki, which is we've got to replace the double quotes that are inside of that text you copied with single.
Oh, okay. So this excited has to be single quotes.
Yes, I think there was somebody who mentioned a bug related to it.
Okay. We want high. I can't wait to hear how she responds. This is going to be fun. I've never heard her respond this way. Okay, so we're going to save this guy, and then we are going to have to reload the automations.
And then actually, before you end there, you'll have to add there's an ending portion of that as well. So there's another section that actually closes the effect.
Oh, music. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Emotion, name, disappointed, intensity. Okay, so then you have to put this at the end. You can change the voice? The voice name is Kendra, so you can change it to a different voice.
Yeah, I think Kendra is the original Amazon Echo voice. She's kind of gone through different iterations.
Wow. Okay, so then at the end of this, you need... Oops. Here, I need to put this part, right? Just like that.
Yeah, and actually change the quotes that are closing the entire text with double quotes from the single.
Okay. Oops. That are around this whole thing, right?
Right.
I noticed that when I was doing something else that, the double quote, single quote thing, if you have, like, if you're going to put an apostrophe S or something in your text, then so like this has got a single quote inside, then you need to have your double quote on the outside. I did know that. Is anyone else's mind blowing right now? Mine is. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. What other voices are there?
I haven't actually played around with them, but I think it's all the different region voices. So you could make it sound like a European voice or a other regions in the world, different accents, I should say. And then so there's a hand.
Yeah, the Morgan Freeman. That's what I was thinking. I want to put the Morgan Freeman voice on there. Yeah, the lights have been on for 20 minutes. Do you want me to turn them off? I'm not yelling. This is just the way I talk. Oh, man. All right, anonymous cheer. Thank you, sir. Okay. I don't know how long it's going to take to reload my automations. So we will go back to entities and find it real quick. I need a quicker way to trigger this. So when you're developing something like this, what the smart people do would be to set up a quick like Lovelace toggle to be able to switch these things. I don't.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't do it that
I
way.
had a little dashboard that had it all set up, so where I could just trigger it at any time. Yeah, definitely necessary from a development.
All right, Clem Pat, thank you very much for subscribing. Too much watch. You're going to drop that thing. It's going to launch everything out of there. Boom. Thank you, sir. If you like unicorns or planes, so unicorns or planes. Valcob says it worked. The single quotes was the problem. Nice. Ooh, and then here's famous people's voices.
Yeah, I don't know how Amazon's doing the licensing on those celebrity voices. I'd be very curious to see how that payment works.
Yeah, right. Jeez. Okay, so we were going to find that office or closet, it was called. This one. Okay, now we're going to execute it. And if everything worked well, she should respond with something very excited.
The office closet door has been open for a while. Would you like me to turn off the light?
No. That was awesome.
Okay.
That was awesome. Oh, so, okay. Violent Pooh says the Samuel L. Jackson voice official through Amazon for 99 cents. Wow, that's it? Man. Pikachu voice? No kidding. Okay, guys, here it is. We're going to have, I want examples. I want little clips, little video clips of everything you guys come up with and drop them in that Discord channel. And because I want to see, it needs to be disappointed. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Dude, I had no idea that this was possible. Keaton, you have outdone yourself, buddy. This is amazing. Oh man.
Oh yeah,
and here
the sky's the limit here. That's what's so exciting about the actionable notification stuff is I can't even begin to think about all the ways that I would use it. So that's why I really am excited to see what others do.
Yeah, for sure. I dropped your buy me a coffee link in there because you're going to need a lot of coffee. Let's go back now to these. So that's this other fun stuff. That was this speech synthesis markup language. Now let's go to these advanced features because this was really interesting as well. If I understood correctly, you had to do, so explain this to me real quick because I haven't read the whole thing. I just know this was a way that you could have a different response. So instead of saying yes or no, you could say blue or green or Netflix or YouTube, those kinds of responses, correct?
Yep. So effectively, this adds a new slot type or a new intent and a new slot type. Where you can effectively change the responses that you want to have as triggers back to Home Assistant. So you could say she could say something like, "Hey, I noticed you turned on the TV. Would you like me to open Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon?" And you could say Amazon, and it would go off and open up that particular thing.
And to get this to start playing with this, what you have to do is add a new intent to your skill, right?
Correct. Yep.
So you add the custom intent. I'm just going to go through the process here to see what it says. So intent, add one, create custom intent. Near the bottom.
We actually need to create the slot type first.
Oh, okay. I skipped a step. Adding a new slot type. Slot type represents a group of items to match against when we say them. For this example, we're going to add generic slot type we can fill with all the possible things we can select. On the left-hand side, you should see something like slots 0. Yep, I do. Now click add, and we can either build custom slot types or choose from the predefined one. Custom slots type, okay? Create a slot type named selections. So we're doing a custom one, and we're going to make selections. Create custom slot type. Okay, and then you would put in here, Netflix or Hulu or YouTube, right? So
I suppose custom slot type will just be selections because we're going to basically make a list of selections. Make sure that's capitalized too, just from the perspective of how it's hooked up in the code. Or the selections S is capitalized.
Gotcha. Okay. So slot types, selections. And then that's it. We just have to do create slot type somewhere down here.
Yep. So for the slot values is what we're actually going to add for all the things that we want to say effectively. So if you want to say Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, as the example points out, you can add those as values to the slot.
So then, because this is one skill, this is one Amazon Echo skill. If we wanted to do things like, put colors or preset names or things like that, you would have to add all of those to this. Is that true?
Right. Yeah. So there is
Okay.
no way for me to pull that information out of Home Assistant
Right.
from the skill itself because of the
Right.
way that Amazon builds that model.
Right. So if you're going to want to set colors for lights, you got to put those colors in here. If you're going to want to do, effect names for lights, you can put that in here. If you like, you did TVs, you could do, I don't know, whatever else people come up with. But all of those things need to be here in your slot values. And if you come up with some later, you need to go back. Steven
Correct,
says
yeah.
a lot of them are built in.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are Amazon has a lot of those built in. So when you add the slot type, there's you could choose this list of Amazon slot types, and these are like numeric values and actors if you wanted to respond with a particular actor's name.
And to do that, you would do this, use an existing slot type from the built-in library, right? And then here's all of the time. Here's the types like actors. So something like colors is probably already in here. Yeah. So there's colors. So if you wanted a name of colors, you just put the slot type for colors in, and then you don't have to come up with your own list of color names.
Yep. And Amazon
Numbers,
actually
dates,
extends those
times.
lists as like if a new actor, etc.
Oh, they update it. So if there's like a new actor that's popular or whatever.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, but
Can I tell Chris about that?
Sorry. Okay. Excellent. So this is a lot of people just going to have to get in there and tinker and play with stuff. Yeah. And see what works for them, for their skill, what they want to use, how they want to use it.
Yep, definitely. Yes. A lot of this is going to be kind of like trial and error to see exactly all the different ways that you would want to use.
So we did this. I don't think I actually finished creating it. Oh yeah, I did. Selections is already here. So I can go over here to selections, and then I could put in the things like a new value. So I could put in Netflix. And then I could put in Hulu or whatever, right? Okay.
Yep.
So now,
and the way that you're typing them in now, like verbatim. So if you've capitalized N on Netflix, that's how it's going to show up in on the Home Assistant side when it gets triggered.
mm-hmm. And then, so once we do this, now we have to add the new intent, correct?
Yep. Uh-huh.
So we go back up to intents, and we need to add a custom intent. And let me just read through this. Custom intent, and near the bottom, you'll have your slot name selections. Okay, so let's go add an intent. And this time, near the bottom, create a slot name selections. So I give it a name, but for the purpose of this tutorial, give the intent the name of select. Okay, I see. You did a really good job with the wiki, dude. If you read it, it's all there. So, well done.
Yeah, so the way that it's set up for this is actually, so the Lambda function has actually been already updated to support this text-based selection intent. So that's why I'm being very picky about the names that you've put into these boxes.
Okay. Okay, because if it's going to work, the code that you wrote is going to work because of the way you've got this. So we got to put this in here. Okay. So what do I put in here for this dialog selection? Anything? Select name select, click create custom intent. I did near the bottom, create a slot name selections. So down here, this is getting cut off. Like I want to get rid of this little menu here. This menu won't go away. See that?
Yep. So now that you've got the intent slots near there at the bottom, effectively we've created a custom intent, and now we're going to attach it to that slot that we created earlier.
Okay. slots. I wish I could see. Like I'm being bothered that I can't see this. No matter how wide I make the window, I can't see this little part on the side. Must be something that I'm doing wrong. All right. Anyways. Okay. So down here, slots. Near the bottom, create a slot, name selections. So in here for the name, I type in selections.
Right. Yep. With a capital S.
Capital S and ends with an S also. Selections.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then click the plus.
And then it'll make a new line effectively. And then to the right of that, you can actually choose the slot type that it can.
And
on the
slot type, my slot type is already there, right?
Yep. Just select selections.
Okay. And that selections, that's the slot type that we already made previously. Okay. Now you'll get to add what you want to say to invoke it. This intent triggered anytime we say the word selections, slot type and created above. So in the what might the user say to invoke this, add. What's that?
Yep. Oh, I'm about, I guess, 20 seconds behind watching the stream.
Oh, you're watching the stream. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So now that we've got it linked up to the actual slot type, and we've added Netflix and etc. to the slot type, we want to basically trigger what is going. We're going to configure what is going to trigger this particular intent. So that's where you see the square, the curly braces where it says selections. That's effectively saying if I say any of the words in the slot that we created, it will trigger this intent.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Excellent. And then where do I put this? So in the what might a user say to invoke this intent?
Up near the top, yep.
Oh, right there. Okay. That's just like that?
It should autofill and be blue.
Yep, it's blue. Okay, good.
Yep.
And then build model. Okay.
Yep.
Sweet. Uh-oh. I've got missing sample utterance, custom intent. I probably messed something up along the way. Well, it did say quick build successful.
Yeah,
missing
it gives
sample
a warning,
utterance.
but you can ignore that warning because we actually don't care about having it say something like, what did you mean, or something.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sweet. I have to click the plus there? Okay. Awesome. All right. Now add the new intent and slot to the Lambda function code. Click the code, replace the code with the latest version. Make sure you reconfigure the variables in the top and click deploy. So it will make a new code or it will put this intent in there?
Yeah, so on this side, we're basically linking up the intent you create with the code. But if you've already have the latest code from the GitHub repo, then you're basically already good to go.
Okay. So if I have the latest code, then you don't need to do this. This is just because the first couple days, this wasn't a part of the Lambda function.
Yep, correct.
Okay, great. So that's it. And then anytime you change this, you've got to, do you have to redeploy and re-sign in or no?
You shouldn't actually have to relink. So what you've already done to activate the skill, there's no additional linking step. But definitely, if you make these changes, build the model, and then actually deploy the code if there's been any code changes.
Okay. I hope I didn't do anything wrong if I build model and deploy it, but I wasn't paying as close attention as I would be if I wasn't distracted. You can try to evaluate the model to see if it's picking up your slots.
Yep, so if you click that evaluate model button at the top there.
Man, how do I close this thing on the side? This thing's driving me nuts. I can't shrink it. It's too big.
Yeah, I don't think it lets you shrink it.
Jeez, you have to have a 36-inch wide monitor to see all this? It's crazy. Okay, so if I do evaluate model, type an utterance.
Yep. So type something like Netflix, effective.
Okay, it looks like it worked.
And then it
nothing's
should show
red.
you the intent that it would have triggered based on that utterance.
Select intent, selections, Netflix. It worked. Sweet. Yep. Okay. Yay. Awesome. All right, so now I can go, if I go to code, it's going to show my stuff, right? To deploy the new version.
Yeah. And yeah, it would, because at the top there, you've got your...
Yeah. Nabukasa. Okay. So I went there and I hit deploy. And now it's redeployed. Deployment successful. So that's it. Now I can answer her with Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon, right?
Yeah, so if we actually go back to your Home Assistant and listen for that event again and trigger her to speak, you can say things like Netflix, Hulu, or whatever, and it should show that in the response event, essentially.
Okay. Is it still listening? Let's just start it for listening again. And then let's trigger that automation. Aye. Clicking too fast. Okay. She's going to say it all excitedly again.
The office closet door has been open for a while. Would you like me to turn off the lights?
Netflix.
You just triggered select.
She said, you just triggered select. That's how she answered me.
Uh-oh.
So something, we missed a step or we missed something.
Right, it should have said you triggered like Netflix or whatever you affect.
So does the response yes, response no, that doesn't change for this?
Nope, that doesn't need to change.
You know what? It's probably because I don't have this data event response in here for the action. Is that right? No. That's going to the
Oh, you may
code.
be running an older version of the code, because if that intent's not set up correctly, it just tells you what intent you...
Oh, okay. Okay. So I may not have the latest version. And that's possibly true. I don't know how often you've updated it. I probably haven't updated it since
Alternatively, the
Saturday night or
intent
yesterday
name could
morning.
be configured incorrectly too. Let me double.
Do I have any media? Yes, I do. And yes, thank you, Steven, for fixing wrong.
There is a thing we can change that
In the code? Or
yeah, go back to the intent that we created, the custom intent.
okay. Oh, now my thing is small enough I can see it. Okay, go back to the custom intent. Let's see. Where is it? Build intents? Intents. The custom intent. Oh, select. Okay, and edit it?
So it is named select with the capital.
Yeah.
Okay, well that should have worked.
Oh, it's probably that I don't have the latest version. I mean, if you've updated this in the last, I don't know, 24 hours or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's been within the last like roughly that time, day.
Oh, somebody says Seamus says I have a typo somewhere. It's probably true. It's very easy to mess up. All the names have to be the same case, etc. Yep. The latest code, DD, it's in the repository. So it's right here, up here. Yeah, I can drop a link in there, but it's all there. Okay, who's on the line, Rutger? This is Keaton. This is Keaton Taylor, Amazon Echo Media Master. Well, so anyways, we don't have to get too much further into that because it's going to be very specific to each person, but it's there. And let's see, where's the wiki? Back here for just a minute. Anything else in that advanced features that you want to tell us about? You can just give us a hint about what it can do. So you do the new intents.
So there's certainly the ability to do like numeric slots. So if Alexa asked, if Lady A asked something like what percentage you wanted the light set to, you could respond with 10% or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's also something that I haven't talked about yet. Well, I've talked to you about, but not others, which is the ability to detect the person that's actually speaking to her.
Right.
And that's involved right now, and I'm trying to make it easier, but that'd be really cool. That's something that I certainly want to get working well.
Yeah.
So she can tailor responses.
I would love for her to be able to talk to me, like, hello, Justin, blah, 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 blah. That would be so super cool. And the kids and Mrs. Z's would love it. I want to reiterate, too, to everybody that this is not like an entry level project to attempt, right? If you don't have like a pretty decent feel for navigating around some of these things, you're going to potentially run into some problems. Keaton's done a great job with the documentation, but you have to be very careful, very exact, and know where you may have gone wrong and how to get back there and check and fix it. This is not as easy as a simple automation in the user interface or anything. Can she say yes, Mom? She needs an annoyed response emotion. All right, somebody here says Ratto is asking a question. Keaton, please help. Having issues reinstalling Media Player version 2.7.1. I've installed via hacks and added it via the UI integrations. It doesn't do anything. When I click submit at dialog Media Player configuration, I've put info and email, password, domain. The dialog stays open. It doesn't install the integration. I've removed integration, checked folders for files, and deleted file, media username, rebooted twice. Pickle?
Yeah,
Did
maybe
you delete
that
the pickle
file that's floating around. So
VM Rato, did you delete your pickle file? Anything else you would tell him to try?
Yeah, I think that's it. Like, it's really like the pickle file is like the end all be all for that session.
Yeah. So if you haven't deleted you should have a pickle file here. I don't know where mine is. Somewhere in here there's a pickle file.
It's either in the root directory where your configuration file is, or it's been moved to be under the dot storage.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, there it is, right at the top of dot storage. So remove that, delete that pickle file, Rato. Ooh, Rato says, what's a pickle file? We found your problem, buddy. Perfect. See, right there. Just delete this. Delete that, and it's in the dot storage. So if you can't see that, you'll have to, tell Windows or whatever you're using that you want to see the hidden folders, and then you can find that, and then you can delete this. It used to be in the main config, but it looks like it's not anymore. So that's the one. checking in IDE. I don't know if IDE I think does show hidden stuff pretty easily. You don't think the IDE does? Oh, maybe not.
Oh no, it should. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. Any movement on being able to use everywhere. So for the media player stuff, when if you wanted to play a song everywhere, is that do you see that becoming part of what the Home Assistant component for Betty will be able to do someday?
So the ability to tell her to play music everywhere, I think, is something that is easier to get working if it doesn't already work. I haven't actually followed some of the improvements that Alan's made super closely, but the ability to trigger like text to speech or other notifications that would be triggered to all the Lady A devices is at the current moment in time not possible, because Amazon essentially says that those everywhere devices, so when you create a media group in the Lady A app, it's actually not like a physical device that you can talk to. It's more like it's a virtual device that has only very specific features enabled.
Yeah. So far you still have to do it longhand ways.
Right.
So Darth Bill says use a speaker group. Cool. Wow. All right. I'm excited. And somebody else, Deegan. Yes, Deegan. We were talking about that. He was asking. He's saying, can't you do something with like the way she talks or whatever? And that's why mine right now sounds like super excited, because she's using. I guess, is it under advanced features? Where did it go? Yeah, it's under this, setting up your first actionable notifications. This speech synthesis markup language. So we did go in there and use a look at what she can do, like whisper or say things excitedly. You can change the voice, which person is saying it. You can play sounds. You can play. Here's one where it says you can actually have it speak domain music. She gives you some information about Sweet Child of Mine. I don't know. But all of this stuff will work in these automations if you include that. Syntax like this in your data template for text. So if you include those, whatever it gives you in those development documents about these to make emotions or sounds or whatever, it will work with this. So very, very cool. Emotion disappointed. Why? All the lights are still on. Isn't anybody home? That's awesome. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yep, you got it. Hilarious. Isn't that awesome? Is it possible to change the language? Tried setting local ES. Didn't work. I have to do with the client ID set in Pitang GUI. I don't know. Important thing, you need to swap the quotes. That's right. We do need to thank you, Thanos. That's a reminder too that you have to swap the quotes. Because if you do start putting in these changes to make her talk in different ways, the examples that they give, they use double quotes here, and that will not work. So to make it work, you have to put everything you have in text needs to be in double quotes, but then all the things that they give you in their examples in double quotes needs to be in single quotes. It won't work. Got it? That is awesome. Hey, Keaton, thanks again. I know I've thanked you a few times, and I'm probably going to do it a few hundred more times. This is wonderful. This is super awesome.
Yeah, so I'll just say, like, hey, if you have questions, anybody has questions, don't hesitate to put stuff in that new channel that you created for the actionable notifications, or make an issue on the GitHub page. I'm keeping an eye on all that stuff so that we can keep making improvements, because, like you said, this is just like day one, ground zero, so to speak, for where this could go.
Yeah. Did you think when you told me, what did you tell me about it, like Thursday or Friday, right? You said something like, hey, check this out. And I went right into it. I was like, oh, I got to do that right now.
Oh yeah, I mean I was super excited about it, so I was like ready to let everyone take a look at it. But
Yeah.
no, it's only gonna get.
Well, it's going to expand exponentially now because we've got a whole bunch of guys that are excited about it and are going to be working on it and coming up with examples and finding problems and things we'll have to fix. So thanks again, dude.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm going to call up the kiddies. I don't know which ones are even home. We're going to hit the sign off button here and we'll get ready to sign off. Oh, it worked. How about that?
Time for sign off.
Many thanks. Checking IDE for a hidden file option. Can't the configurator icon. So if IDE doesn't find it, try the just what's it called? File viewer. What does he call it? I can't remember. So I don't remember what it's called. I call it the configurator, but it's not the configurator. Oh, well, that's okay. You can just sign off with me. But it should be here. I mean, any time it shows these dots, the dot files, then that's where you'll find it.
Where should we go?
You know what we should do?
Yeah.
Oh, file editor. Thank you, Seamus. File editor. All right. So, again, big thanks to Keaton and Alan for doing all this work. And thanks to all you guys, including Steven that made that other guide for Node-RED and has been helping a lot in the chat. Tune in tomorrow to Seamus's live stream. That should be fun. And let's do...
Holly's at the dentist.
Should we sign off like we're at the dentist?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to sign off like we're at the dentist. Like we
It's
can't...
probably just me because Dawson's with his phone.
Oh.
So
Somebody... Okay, so DD says, hey, I fixed the issue. It was with the intent I got messed up with. Sorry, my mistake, Keaton. You rock. You should get Betty to sign off one day. Oh, totally. I'm going to program Betty to sign off. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her like give me, if I've been streaming for like 2 hours and something, we'll give a little fudge factor. But if I go way beyond the 2 hours, then I will trigger her to say, you've been streaming for 2 hours. Would you like me to call the kids up for sign off? And then I can say yes and she can do it. Oh, that makes me so happy. So awesome. All right. So we're going to sign off like we're at the dentist, okay?
And
Ready?
we're getting a silver tooth pulled out.
Okay. Ready? Yeah, so you got to keep your mouth open like somebody has their fingers in your mouth. Hey, 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 hey.
You sound like an old man.
I am an old man. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Keaton, thanks again for being here.
You sound like a grandpa.
I sound like a grandpa. Yeah. Well, glad we finally got to have you. And man, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Okay.